Welcome back, guys, to the channel. And today we will be discussing Summer House Martha's Vineyard. And the episode for me was a good episode.
It
Like I
was a good
actually enjoyed
episode.
episode this week as well. I am so happy that this season is actually going very well. And the
Yeah.
drama seems authentic, does not seem forced like RHOP. But it was a good episode. We saw
How much do you
where
rate it though?
an eight.
An eight. I'll give it an eight too.
Yeah.
I'll give it an eight. Yeah.
For me, the episode we realized we saw that where it's pretty much started from the car scene when the guys were coming back from, I think it was a restaurant. And we
Mm-hmm.
saw where Summer and Jordan got into their back and forth basically. And I don't know, what do you take from both of them, their issue, what the both of them have with each other? Do you think that Jordan is 100% at fault, or do you think Summer is 100% at fault, or do you think both of them is pretty much the same?
I feel both of them do like all right fault.
Mm-hmm.
Because all right, sure, Jordan wanted to address an issue with Summer, which
Right.
I assume it was her frolicking with a guy outside her apartment. But but I don't think it was the time because they were all drunk. They were like so drunk coming from the restaurant, but because previously when they were at the restaurant, they were like bringing up issues and addressing issues. So I feel like she felt like it was time to have the conversation, but I felt like it wasn't.
Mm,
And aside from that, Jordan is somewhat of a ticking time bomb. And I feel like it's
yes.
somewhat hard to be your friend because she can get a bit aggressive and a bit strong. She's a
Yes.
very
And
strong
she
personality.
seems like she's quite okay with it and is not willing
Hmm.
to change how aggressive and strong she can be.
Yeah, and besides,
Uh,
she's going through her stuff right now
so
where she is losing her
losing
hair and
her
all that,
hair.
and
And
like yeah, can come off being a bit what
a
should I say?
bitch.
A bit
A
angry.
bitch. Um,
Yeah,
we also got where we saw that Noelle as well was breaking down in her room. We saw where she called her mom as well because we know that the cringy conversation she had with Alex,
yeah,
she feels some way about it. The fact that the conversation did not go according to plan, the fact that this is on TV, and the fact
hmm,
that the conversation even
yeah.
happened
I
as
kind of
to
feel for
why
her.
she
I'm not gonna
felt.
lie, I did feel for her when she was crying, but I was like, damn, save your tears because here what? I guess she was vulnerable. She was a vulnerable moment for her, and
Hmm.
she got exposed basically. But I felt like it was too soon for her to put that out there,
Right, right.
knowing the fact that I mean it's known to everybody that what's his name?
Alex,
Alex is
F boy.
a F boy. So,
Mhm.
it was too soon. Besides, I don't know. It was crazy though. It was too soon for her to do that. But
Yeah,
on the
and
other
we
side of
saw
I felt
where
for
her
her.
mom literally gave her the reassurance that she needed because she basically
Yeah.
was a bit out of it, and she needs her
Mm-hmm.
mom to give her that pep talk to let her know that, yeah, don't cry over
Don't cry. Besides,
Alex.
she's a beautiful girl, and I'm sure
Yes.
she could get whatever man she want in that
Right.
house.
We then moved to where we saw again Summer and Jordan decided to have their conversation. For me in this conversation, I think that Jordan pretty much led the conversation. Not sorry, not Jordan. Summer actually
Summer,
led the
yeah.
conversation, where Jordan was more like sitting, listening, and just not taking any accountability. That's what I got from the conversation. But I don't know what were your thoughts on the conversation that took place.
Yeah, based on what she was very closed off at this point, I'd say where because in her mind she felt violated. That was her word. I don't
Yeah, she felt like she
remember
had
exact word,
violated
like somewhat
her
violated
privacy
because.
because I guess whatever was
But
shared or
if I
stuff.
can recall, I don't think Summer really did said the reason why she was consoling her the night before or whatever. She didn't really say the reason, but she said she was crying and she was consoling her. I
Right.
think so. It was kind of like I feel like that's just a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
And then knowing Jordan and her strong will, she gonna push whatever she's feeling, and that's that.
Yeah,
It's
because we
nothing
saw where
else.
Summer
Yeah.
says that Jordan can be very very angry, and she's just like, yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, girl, do you even want to
She accepting
reconcile
it.
or fix
She don't
what is
care.
even happening? Because this girl is literally pouring her heart out to you, whether it is in your liking or not. She's having this conversation with you, and you're not even taking any accountability. You're just sitting
Yeah.
there acting as if like you did nothing at fault. So I felt like this conversation was mostly Summer led and Jordan just sat
Mm-hmm.
there. But Jordan left the conversation saying that, well, I guess they are good for now. But
Yeah. She's gonna start
yeah,
keeping some stuff to herself. I think she started doing what she did to Jasmine to Summer now.
yes.
But
And that's the
in
thing with Jordan. It's like last season she blew up on the host because she said that they were sexualizing her. And then you come into this season and then you're pretty much turning it up a notch, basically. And
mm-hmm.
it's really hard as the audience to understand what is her problem because
um
you're losing your hair. Yes, that is very sad, but that does not give you the reason for you to be completely
to be mean, to
mean.
be a bitch.
Yes, to be a bitch. So it's like, what is your problem, basically? It's really annoying at this point because it's either she needs to really explain it to the audience, it's either that it's us being cut out, so we just not understanding. But for me, it's like
Mm-hmm.
you're not really, and I think it was somewhat the same thing that took place with the conversation with her and Jasmine earlier in the season,
Yeah.
where she had a conversation on the boat with her. And yes, we know that Jasmine maybe should have pushed a bit further into explaining why she
But it
was
was like
different the first
a
season.
one-way conversation.
Yeah, but
Jasmine
it
was the
still
only
was a
one really
one-way
talking.
conversation because I
Yeah,
think in Jordan's eyes, she didn't do anything wrong. She's perfect.
right. I mean, sure, she kind of did her wrong somewhat because she was trying to like push her to have sex with or somewhat to be with what's his name? Amir last season.
Amir, right?
So, but I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like she's ready and open to have those conversations and like, rekindle the relationship a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then we got to the next scene where we see it was a little short scene where we saw Bria and Simon were on the phone arguing over ticket prices. And another thing with Bria, like I don't know if this is her true personality or
She
she's
need to
just turning
grow
it
up.
up a notch for the camera, but she seems very like a child to me at this point.
Right.
She throws unnecessary tantrums. She says one thing, then storms off, then come back and
Right.
apologize. And it's like
And
it's
using
getting
the I
tiring.
love you very loosely.
Yes.
It doesn't excuse your behavior. Come on now, be an adult.
It's
Stand your
getting
ground.
very
If you have a
tiring. It's very
point.
annoying. Like I don't know exactly
Yeah.
what it is that she is basically trying to do. But I'm like,
Yeah.
what are we doing here? Like you're arguing over ticket prices. This dude told you that this is what he's seen, and you're on the phone
Mm-hmm.
arguing, and then you hung up the phone. Like I would not want to know what it's
It's
like really
crazy.
being in a relationship with her. Because that just seems like drama every day.
Right. There's always something that's bothering her or something. It's just
Always.
crazy. Mm-mm.
We then see where we got pretty much Jasmine was on the phone with Silas that thankfully is not on this season because he's been
Right.
deployed, where she pretty much confirmed to the audience that she's indeed pregnant. We already knew that she was pregnant externally outside of the show, and obviously she had her child last February. But then she decided to confirm to the audience that she's indeed pregnant. Only time will tell
Mm-hmm.
when she decides to tell the group that she's actually indeed pregnant. What were your thoughts? Do you think that this is a good look or a good move? It's not a good look, sorry, a good move towards their relationship based on what we saw last season when both of them were constantly arguing and so forth?
Um, I'm just waiting for it to play out. I think he's gonna pop up in the season somewhat, right? I'm not
Not
sure,
sure. I
but
don't
like
think
based on
so.
what I've learned, he's in therapy. He's doing better, somewhat.
Yeah,
Me
he's in.
personally didn't like him. I felt like it's not a good based on the knowledge that I have and what I've seen last season. I
Mhm.
don't think it's a good look.
Right.
And the basis of how they got together because they got together in COVID and that was a rough time and we
Yeah.
made some bad decisions. So I don't know if that was a bad decision for them to like get together and get married so soon
Yeah, and then
without
to
really
be able
like
to.
getting to know each other. I felt like maybe it was a rush, but like if they're
Yeah.
in a better place then okay, that's good. I'm happy for them and I'm here
Happy
for
for them
them.
as well, yes. We saw where they were having a party, and this was where we got like the foreshadowing to Jordan being very silent. At the
Mm-hmm.
first party, we saw where Alex noticed that she seems a bit off. She's not her talkative self, her angry self,
Mm-hmm.
her aggressive self. She was just very silent.
Her
Where
strong
he
personality wasn't shining
started, our
through.
strong personality wasn't
Yeah.
shining. And this is where we saw where Alex noticed that something seems off with her. Then we got
Mm-hmm.
to the dinner night, which was when everything decided to blow up. We saw where Alex again saw that she seems a bit not herself, to put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then he decided to point it out and ask her what's up. And this is where she says that she has experienced a lot of loss in her life. And then she
Mm-hmm.
also shares with the group that she's also losing her hair. And as a black woman, it's like our hair is pretty much her. And it's like a confidence thing for females as well.
Mm-hmm.
So she losing her hair, and this is where she shared everything. And then Alex actually felt appreciated to say that he understands her now in this one dinner. He understands her more than he understood her last season. And this is when we got the Jordan that we know decided to
Right.
pop out. And then she showed her true colors by blowing up on him, saying that she basically wanted to, I guess, kick his ass regarding what he did to her
Mm-hmm.
friend. And I'm assuming the friend would be Shanice.
Shanice, yeah.
And it was just left field for me. Like
It
maybe
was
there was
crazy for
more in
me.
between that we just did not see, but it just seemed like you
She
were
went
a
from zero
bit.
to 100 real quick.
Yes, and he said that he was never close to her. So if you
Right.
ask her something, that something is off and she's sharing this. So in her head, she's basically saying that he learned so much more about her. I don't think that was a bad thing. So I don't see why
No.
she needed to go off. And this is where we got into the whole when Alex last season brought up Shanice and her ex situation and the fact that it was already on Google, but he decided to bring it to the forefront. And he decided to say, I think Nick was the one who originally shared it with him or something like
Yeah.
that. But it just went unnecessarily left for no reason. I don't know. What were your thoughts on the way how she responded? Do you think it was warranted? Do you
I don't think it
understand?
was.
Okay.
I was a bit confused. I mean, I was somewhat expecting something like that because I've learned her personality, but it
Right.
was crazy because it just felt like it went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
And in that moment, that's the first time I've ever seen Alex that genuine.
Jenny, yes.
And
As
he
much
was
as I
there. Thank you
dislike
for
his
sharing and
persona
all of
because
that.
I
As
think is
yeah,
yeah.
I kind of dislike his persona and all of that. So
Yeah.
me watching it, I could feel the genuineness through the screen. So I was like, damn, I'm sure you should
Yeah.
be feeling more being there and having a conversation. So it was crazy to me.
It
Probably
was.
she should have just left that part for a next scene. It's just like, mm-mm, nah.
Then we got where Bria decided to tap in and share her
Mm.
mood, and then that's where she shared that she's no longer okay with Mariah coming to the house, which confuses Jasmine. And Jasmine already is pregnant, so I'm sure she's pretty emotional already. And that's where Jasmine starts to have a breakdown as well, because she says she's going through a lot. And now we have Bria who is over there acting like a chihuahua, talking about, well, she has to share her feelings and should whatever the case might be. So this is the situation. This is where we ended the episode. There was nothing. I guess next week we'll follow up on more. I'm not sure how Jasmine will actually break it to the group that she's indeed pregnant. The fact that maybe this would have been the opportunity she was planning to do it at the table, but
Mm-hmm.
then with everything what Bria did, I'm sure she probably changed
And
her
it's just
mind.
crazy that Bria did that. It's just, I don't know, she really needs to grow up or probably not come back next season because it's so weird. I saw something where she did an interview last year when she said she was cool with Mariah. So it's so weird that now she's like not cool and don't want her to come to the house and all of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, but
That's
guys, that was the episode.
basically,
Yeah, so we'll see what next week's brings. So far, I can say I'm actually enjoying this season, and I do hope they actually do get a reunion because we know last season there was no reunion. So we do hope there is an
yeah.
actual reunion this season so we can actually close some of these
Yeah,
drama that
close
they're actually
resolves the
having
drama so they don't bring it back into
to
the
the
new
third
season.
season, right?
Yeah.
So let me know, guys, in the comment section below what were your thoughts on the episode. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And was there anything else finally you wanted to share on the episode or what you're looking forward to next episode?
Well, I want to see their reaction when Jasmine Fallon tell them that they're pregnant, even though I'm sure they were suspecting and knowing
Yeah,
a
and I'm
few of
sure they're going
them.
to be
So
happy
yeah,
for her, but I'm sure you're going to have
yeah,
one and two persons maybe asking, like, is sure is now the good time to be pregnant when you and your husband last
yeah.
season seemed like something was off?
And also can't wait for I guess what's his name to come back, Mariah and
Phil.
Phil to come back.
Yes.
So okay, you know that's gonna
Yeah.
bring more drama.
Yeah, guys. So we will see what next week actually brings, and obviously the rest of the season. We'll see you next week on the next episode as we recap Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. Bye.
Hey, y'all.